That
But
is interesting. The Arch-based distro, whatever maintainer, whatever you want to call it, makes use of iOS. These are two
yeah,
very
it's
extreme differences.
I use iOS because I'm an old man,
Fair?
and
Fair.
uh, I just want my iPad and my iPhone to do what they were meant to do,
Mm,
nothing more. But when it comes to my computer, I want to learn.
mm, mm.
I That's why I use Arch, and from time to time I keep g- jump dipping my toes into the dark side,
Mhm, mhm.
as they call it in the FOSS world. I try Nix from time to time. I try Gen 2, uh, not on an old laptop, but on my main machine, on a separate SSD,
Mhm,
just to see what all the hubbub is about.
mhm, mhm.
So I want to learn. I want to keep my knowledge fresh. So I keep dipping my toes here and there, but my main system will forever be Arch and KDE. People ask me, "You created the GNOME edition. Don't you use GNOME?" Yes, I do. It's a dual boot with the KDE version.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And the other day, oh, thank the Lord I did that, because as you know, in Lebanon we have power cutoffs every 3 hours
Mhm, mhm.
for 3 hours. So one day I forgot. I was in the middle of working on the toolkit. The power went out, but the generator did not kick in. It took a while to kick in. My UPS uh, battery just died, and the whole thing shut down.
Mhm.
When I tried to turn it back on, the KDE version wouldn't boot, wouldn't go into the onto the desktop. And I use
Aha.
XFS. I'm the one of the few people who uses XFS. Uh, so I was like, why am I not seeing the? So it's basically the black screen of death.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
It's not because of NVIDIA or anything. It's because the system got corrupted, because it suddenly shut down in the middle of building an ISO.
Ah. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, so I booted right into GNOME because it's on a separate drive. It's
Mhm,
on a separate NVMe. So I booted into GNOME, ran XFS repair dash dash force,
mhm.
because for whatever reason it wouldn't repair it unless I used the force flag, not the force, the L flag, capital L flag. And it repaired the system because the L dash L flag ignores the logs because the logs were corrupted.
Mhm.
So I used the dash L flag, repaired the drive where the main OS was installed, booted right into KDE, and continued my work.
Mhm.
So the GNOME edition is there to keep up with the changes and to keep being able to maintain it, and as a rescue OS. And
Mhm.
it proved useful in that instant. I was able to boot back into KDE, no problem. But yeah, I use different desktop environments. I've used Cosmic, and don't get me into Cosmic, because for whatever reason, Cosmic on a multi-monitor setup, as you have experienced, is not the best experience.
What issue did you run
Uh,
into?
well, how about the left monitor rendering upside down, the right monitor right side up, the center monitor laggy?
That's a new one.
I Yeah, I didn't want to report it because I think it was a me issue, not a general issue, because after reboot it fixed itself. But
Right.
but for whatever reason, the top panel was at the bottom, upside down. So the whole monitor was flipped upside down.
Did you
So
boot the system on a different desktop and then swap over to Cosmic?
yeah, I was on KDE and then I swapped to Cosmic.
Okay.
So
I have seen weird issues where sometimes booting Cosmic, it I guess just does weird things with its default settings. Possibly that's related. I don't know what the cause though is. I've just seen it happen from cases like that.
well, here's the thing. I installed Cosmic using my own Cosmic script. I
Mm,
created a Cosmic install script because the Arch install. This is a funny thing about Arch install. If you select Cosmic Epoch from the Arch install,
mm,
it doesn't activate the uh, Cosmic Welcome. You mean the display manager? It doesn't
mm.
enable it. It doesn't enable the service. for whatever reason. It just
Mm-mm.
installs it, but it doesn't enable it. So in my script, I enable the greeter, the cosmic
Yeah,
greeter.
yeah,
Uh, so it doesn't enable the cosmic greeter daemon service. So I had to do it via my script.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Arch install, I don't know what's wrong with these people, and they don't activate the XGG user dirs. So you end when you open the file, the Cosmic files,
Mm.
you don't see documents, downloads, pictures
Oh,
on the left pane.
uh-huh.
So I had to run XGG user dirs update dash
Mm.
update for it to populate Cosmic files. So my Cosmic install script fixes all these issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, Arch install, what are you doing?
Arch
You just
installs
install like a
real weird when it comes to like, it's fine for installing a core desktop, a core like version of Arch, but as soon as you start going with some of those like, you know, desktop packages, things get a little bit. I don't know what's happening with those actually.
yeah.
They just sort
I
of
tried I, tr-
exist.
I tried to suggest stuff. They were like, okay, what do you suggest we do? I suggested to them how to install KDE, for example, because,
Mm-hmm.
for example, Dolphin plugins don't exist in their profile. They don't. The plugins are very important for developers. Like if you have a Git repository, if you don't install the Dolphin plugins, you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to see the check marks on folders and files to see if they're in sync with upstream and
Sure, sure.
whatnot. For us developers, that's very important. They don't include the Flatpak KCM
Mm.
to manage Flatpak permissions in settings. For Plasma 6.3, you don't get the new tablet settings in settings
Mm-hmm.
because they don't include it. Quite simply, so anything that's new with Plasma 6.3, you're not going to see if you install via Arch install because the packages are missing.
Hmm.
So I'm like,
So it does like a minimal install.
yeah, a minimal desktop install. So once I reached the way they were thinking, the guy said, "Yeah, we aim for a minimal install and let the user do the rest,
Right.
figure out the rest."
Well,
I'm
that's the
like,
way I have Plasma installed on my system. But if you're installing KDE with Arch install, I would expect, unless it says minimal install, for it to install the KDE meta package.
there are other projects that stemmed from Arch install.
Mm.
One of them being a French guy, Arch, whatever it's called. He has a profile for KDE minimal, KDE complete, and selective. That's where I got my idea for my script in the beginning, but those scripts have been archived since there are ISOs now. I don't need scripts, but the only script that still exists is Cosmic because I don't want people to install Cosmic from Arch install because they're gonna end up with no greeter, just TTY,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not gonna be positive at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to ask you a question.
Mm.
Since you have Cosmic on Arch,
I do.
similar to me. Do you get those blink of an eye error messages when you log in through the greeter? It shows like a couple of
I
TTY
don't use the
messages before
greeter.
logging in. Hmm?
I don't use the greeter.
You don't use it.
No.
You don't use the greeter. Okay, because the greeter has an issue that they haven't fixed since day one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's a new issue. It has existed since day one.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you use the greeter and you log in, it's gonna show you for a blink of an eye. It comes and it goes and it logs in, but it's gonna show you error messages, a lot of error messages.
Hmm.
But then it logs in fine and it works just fine, and it's like the issue does not exist, but for whatever reason, that's what it does. I think the greeter is not complete yet.
Do you know what? Like, have you gotten like a picture or recording of what those error
I
messages
can't.
are?
I tried to record it, but I need to launch OBS to be
No,
able to
couldn't you
record
record?
it. And
You record it with like your like phone or tablet.
that's a good idea. I might do that.
Because
Because
OBS
it's weird.
Cosmic does dump a bunch of errors when you open it from the TTY, so it's possible they're the same errors. You're just seeing them from the greeter.
I'm seeing them from the greeter. Yeah. And there's another issue that hasn't been tackled yet: shift delete.
Mm.
Still hasn't been
Hasn't it?
tackled.
I
You
thought
shift
they
delete.
closed the issue. Wait, hold up.
They shift delete does nothing. It's like I'm not doing anything. That's as of a month ago. I tried it a month ago, so
Okay.
still not there.
Wait, how do I see no? How the hell does GitHub work? um,
Asking the wrong person. I don't know how
um,
to create pull requests. So
because I opened the issue a while back.
yeah,
Cosmic.
I was the one who mentioned it to you during your live stream.
Oh, okay. Cause. Okay, let me just go to the repo and search the issues that I made there. Okay. Because
There's
I could have sworn that they had
Yeah, I
closed the
opened the
issue.
issue. I opened the issue as well. I was like, please implement the shift delete,
Um,
because I do shift delete a lot.
uh, author me. Maybe I didn't.
There's a lot of issues
Hmm.
that haven't been tackled yet, like opening TUI applications from the app launcher does not work still. Like
Oh,
my toolkit,
yeah. So
like
it doesn't try to open it in a terminal; it just tries to open the application like by itself.
yeah, and like BTOP,
Right.
impossible to open those. That's annoying because I want to add my toolkit to the dock at the bottom, but if clicking it does nothing, that's useless.
Wait. This
But
seems to be a duplicate of open PR here. Hold up. Okay, there is an open pull request.
it has been open for a while. If you look at the date,
Ah, I see. Someone commented on it. That's why I got a notification. Okay. Yeah. So there was another comment on it on January 18th. I talked about this in December? Jesus Christ. Okay. There's like 3 different duplicates of this issue. I don't know. It
yeah,
seems
one of
like
them being
such an
me.
easy thing to add. I don't know why they haven't done that.
Yeah, and there's another issue that since day one existed. When you right click cut, use the
Mm,
cut in the right click. Usually the folder should become like the dot folders, like
mm.
semi-transparent. Does not do that.
Is that reported?
And cutting, I reported
Oh,
it,
yes, I see it.
but yeah, so it doesn't, and it does, and pasting when you do cut paste. In a lot of instances it doesn't work. It just errors out. It gives you a big wall of errors.
Huh.
Sometimes it works with files, but with folders, if a folder is a dot folder and it has dot files in it, it errors out.
Interesting. I'll
Yeah.
have to test
So
that one next time on Cosmic.
yes, Alpha 6 is coming. So
Yeah, it got delayed because issues.
yeah,
But
not
yeah.
so not surprising with Cosmic,
Yeah.
but
Well,
uh,
the 5 release was so bad they had to do a 5.1.